I'm gonna change my Streamlab thing, tac images, because oh my god, those need to be updated. We're live streaming now, but they should not be able to see the screen right now. Yeah, they can't see that. Yeah, because I don't care if I'm high. I'm still smart somehow. Yeah. I can't believe people heard that. Oh my god, I'm cringing.
Wait, they heard what?
Oh, we're live, right? Can they hear us?
Oh, let me check. Ask people in chat if they can hear us. Dude, it still says the stream is like waiting. Oh no, okay, we got it updated. Okay, cool, we're live.
Yay!
Okay, we're good. Hey, you all people.
Oh no, they can see us.
What are you gonna draw?
I was gonna. Bruh, I don't know.
What is that? What is that? Okay,
I don't think.
I've never streamed before. My goal for this stream is to not randomly start dissociating. Cause like
I've streamed before.
We were having like really like philosophical, political conversations, and
yeah.
I'm always gonna be like pee pee poo poo. No, just kidding.
Bro,
Okay, so tax like kind of high right now, but like the creative, like energetic high.
Oh my god.
Start streaming. Like we plan to start like streaming regularly because we always have really good conversations in private.
Yeah.
That end up being like interesting. We're like, damn, we wish we recorded this. So we just thought we'd start streaming for funsies. There's like not enough trans guys on YouTube, and I'm an extra trans guy. So that was 2 more RedTube trans boys. Better just one.
Yeah.
Yee. We have a lot of topic planning to speak about.
We can.
Cover.
We have like millions of things to talk about
tonight, but just like.
Yeah, of course, because it's so vast. Okay, it's a vast sea.
We only have one person watching, so I'm gonna repost the link in your Discord.
Yeah. I'm gonna change the follower icons. Because they are outdated and What are you doing?
Yeah, we'll both, for tonight, we were just thinking we would talk about mental health issues. And I don't mean like, destigmatize depression and anxiety, because that's great, but that's like what everyone talks about. We want to talk about how we should have more, like mentally ill people should not be ostracized from the left. So the left should be welcoming like severely mentally ill people, like me and you.
Yes. Yes, even us.
That it seems that they don't, and most of it is just ignorance and like subconscious biases and like just discounting the opinions of mentally ill people. That we've like total willingness to say the R slur among certain individuals, and even just like the word crazy. Like I'm not offended by the word crazy. Or I'm not even offended by the R slur personally, but I don't say it. But like I'm fucking crazy. But we want like our perspectives, because like I have DID, you have schizophrenia. We both have autism and some other issues. So we just think our perspectives are pretty interesting and not really well documented in leftist spaces. And my goal, because like, okay, the DID community on YouTube is, and I have never seen any leftist person with DID on the internet. Like, I am sure they exist, but I would like to put my voice out there. Oh, apparently I'm really quiet compared to you. Can you turn my audio up? Someone in chat just said.
Oh, turn your audio up. Okay.
They can't hear me, and I'm talking mostly, so.
How about now? Speak.
Liquid Goth. How about now? Are we Gucci? My loud, manly voice.
His man voice.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Remember in middle school when everyone running around was like, "Hey, vagina for mouth or penises for fingers"? Which one would?
What the fuck? I don't remember that.
I should have known I was trans back then because it wasn't even a fucking question. Like I was like, hands down, penises for fingers. I want to have as many penises as possible. Whoa, you didn't hesitate, bro. You didn't even hesitate. You took the question seriously. You answered it without hesitation. I should have known I was trans back then. Wait, okay, let me post this link in your server, just so people and like tag everyone.
Yeah. Why is my chat box like showing the wrong chat box?
So what does that mean? What do you mean?
It's never mind. Whatever. Just some
Wait, okay.
stuff. Yeah,
We got like 2
OBS.
people watching. I just pasted the link and tagged everyone, so I think more people are gonna see it. But yeah, like, do you want to just go over like some of the main talking points that you like want to discuss right now?
Yeah. Oh. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, I feel like.
Oh yeah, mental health. Okay, yeah. I was gonna make a video about mental health, but like, I mean, I'll still make it anyway, cause you know having condensed video would be better. But, I want there to be like even like in apolitical spaces, like if you're seen as too sick, then you're just trash for some reason. Like there's for some reason this thing where you have to be like a tolerable like a if you're too depressed, for example, like, oh, you're too messed up, you're too depressed, you there's only like an acceptable level of existing as I don't know how to explain it. But acceptable level of like not normal, I guess. And if you're too far out there, then if it's not relatable, then you're trash. Basically, if they're not able to, if you're not, oh my god, #relatable, then they just fucking trash you and say you're negative.
I would say from what I've seen, it's not just like people needing to see relatability. It's people trying to see like mental illness be commodified, as like turned into like an aesthetic thing, or just heavily romanticized. And I know like people have talked about this. Like that's like I've heard just discourse on that generally, like not even in leftism, that like mental illness shouldn't be romanticized, but it really is. Because personally, I have therapeutically treated, diagnosed, and hypothesized to have by various doctors almost over 10 like mental health labels, and certain ones of them when I was struggling with like symptoms where I was hypothesized to have certain issues. Like I just it was really like clear to me that like my friends were only supportive of the ones that like they had a romanticized media understanding of, like. And okay, even within each issue, like I struggle with OCD at a young age, and I'm pretty much over it now. But it was like really bad when I was a kid, and when I explained it to my friends, I had to like, just talk about OCD light, like washing your hands and keeping your room, just organization and contamination issues, and I couldn't talk about like the actual things that were bothering me, which were guilt and intrusive thoughts, which is actually more like just as common. It's just I don't know why I'm fixing on that. It's just there's so many issues, like in the general media of people romanticizing mental health or just not understanding it and having like a really like fucked up interpretation of it. And that's just of like really mainstream mental health issues that have garnered media attention. And when you talk about things like schizophrenia and DID, it's even more of an extreme example of this. There is like, if you ask a normie to define schizophrenia or DID, you're gonna get a disgusting answer that's just like so painful. And like they are really rare and obscure things. I'm not saying normies should like
Normies.
the majority of people aren't educated on these things. It's a very rare experience to have. But like in leftist spaces, there are just more mentally ill people. Like there are more mentally ill people that are so ostracized by society. It's the same reason why there's more LGBT people in leftist spaces. We're so ostracized by society, and we get really done. Like we basically don't have a choice but to become social leftists, and then a lot of times we become economic leftists and like government anarchists and stuff like that as well, due to those things. No more cis people.
Oh, I don't know why I wrote this. I don't know. I'm high. I don't know.
Sex. That's pure sex. But I don't know. I just think I've seen one bread, and again, I am definitely not all caught up on the content of every single small leftist YouTuber, and there's a lot of them that make fantastic content. But I would say in general, the only like because I used to watch a lot of RedTube, like spend way too much fucking time on that. And the only like good video I ever saw talking about mental health issues, like and how it relates to leftism, is Libertarian Socialist Rent's video about anti-psychiatry, which I would recommend to everyone. It changed my life. It changed my life. I am very not because of that video. I was already kind of anti-psychiatry, but that video like gave me a word for how I felt about psychiatry, and I've done a lot more research on it since then. And it's pretty passionate viewpoint of mine, but I'm not going to get into it tonight. But yeah, basically, like, we think that we should have more, like, in the left, talking about their struggles. Like, because it's not like there isn't an audience for, like, schizophrenia creators. Sorry. I don't know much about, like, schizophrenia YouTube, but I know that it exists. And I know DID YouTube is really fantastic and actually is pretty big. Like, a lot of DID people will just... So,
there is no schizophrenia YouTubers. They're either not capable of making videos or they're dead. Well, there's like one or two I saw, but as far as I know, that's it. Because I'm gonna be one of those people.
You're not gonna die. Come live with me.
Alright.
We could do drugs and have orgies and be on SSI and make art together. It'll be good shit. That was...
let's no more cis people ever again.
Yeah,
I don't know why I randomly said that.
I'm just kidding. We don't
like,
I feel like what is your opinion on like those like saying those jokes like fuck cis people or like fuck straight people, because a lot of reactionaries will use that to like call us crazy, even though it's like clearly a joke. White people as well, like white people get so fucking triggered about that. It's like it should be obvious to anyone who gives it a second of thought that we're not literally saying fuck all cishet white people. We're just saying fuck, like the idea of it, right?
Yeah.
Of, like what it is. And the idea that it exists mostly as in opposition to other identities. Like that should be fucking obvious. So what's your opinion on like the praxis of saying that? Like, do you think that it's bad praxis because it offends Chuds?
No. I mean, anything offends. Anything that isn't in the Chud's worldview is offensive. So I don't know why. Why do we have to like do this thing where we have to sacrifice like the people you're supposed to be rooting for to the altar so that a Chud cannot be a reactionary? Why do we have to do? Why? That's not what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about liberating people, and like you can liberate people, and or even convince people without like sacrificing, like throwing like it's like some I don't know why, but I picture him as this like satanic altar, and like not satanic but like some sort of like altar thing, religious altar, and like and they're like,
Well,
all
the
right,
idea.
I gotta say the N word today. Let's to convince this Nazi. Let me just take this brown person and then put them in the altar to sacrifice them. Now they're no longer racist because I sacrificed. Like I don't what? Like I don't know. That's what it feels like. Like let me.
Yeah, sure.
It's like it's like in order to fight transphobia, we have to throw trans people in the line of fire and sacrifice them to be consumed as punchable objects to make people not transphobic. What?
Yeah, dude, Jamie just said something. Jamie just said something. That dude, Jamie was just like, if you make bigots more comfortable in your community, you always make marginalized people less safe in your community. That is so true. Like,
Yeah.
the when the dirtbag left, I'm not going to name names, but when the dirtbag left, says that it is good practices to not only like be nice to like right figures for the purpose of like making the left appeal to them, but also uses that as an excuse to shit on marginalized people to become buddy with them. It makes marginalized people feel safe, and it also like it just I don't understand why it should be the priority, because you're never going to. It's very very unlikely that. Okay, I don't personally hate Vosh. I watch his content, but like it's very very. It's very, very unlikely that Vosh is going to fully radicalize Shuon Head or Hunter Avalon. He's going to turn them into centrists. He's basically helped turn them into centrists, and that's completely unhelpful. Like, centrists don't really do shit. Like, if you don't direct other people to do direct action, and I personally have a very broad definition of direct action, but I'm still a baby anarchist, so I'm not the most qualified to speak about what that means, but like whatever you think is actually going to make change, like you're not helpful. So I feel like the bread tube in general should be prioritizing like the radicalization of marginalized groups who actually have a reason to be leftist in their soul, being like, oh, this seems like a nice community where I can pat myself on the back, even though I totally would be just as accepted as Nazis. Like that is why it's so important that marginalized people be the ones like having platforms about leftism, because I don't care if you and I are not appealing to chuds. I have no interest in like prioritizing the radicalization of chuds. We should be prioritizing the radicalization of people who actually have like fundamental reasons to be hard leftists. Like it should be so obvious.
You're cutting out a bit.
Oh, okay. How about now?
Oh, you're fine now. I don't know.
Okay, I'm good.
gonna talk about this red tube stuff today, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like
Yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, we were trying to focus. You're right. We were like, let's not talk shit on BreadTube, and then it's called out someone. I'm sorry. That was a bad idea. Look, dude, I have a really good idea.
I mean, we could keep talking about it if you want to.
A really good idea. I was wondering, like, I didn't ask you this before we started streaming, but would you be willing to just experience with schizophrenia and how, like, it isn't necessarily bad outside of the context of it not allowing you to function in capitalist society? Like, in your if you had supportive community, like you said, like before you got like fucked up on medication and shit like that, like it didn't really bother you, like if you had a community. Like, do you want to elaborate that and sort of talk about your experience and your history of like everything you've experienced around that?
It did bother me, but like, I mean, if I had a supportive system, then it wouldn't bother me very much. But I don't, so I just like,
Yeah.
I just go, oh no, like, there's like many types of schizophrenia. There's not just like the paranoid one or the one you see in movies. or 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 whatever. It's hard to explain, but it's like
Well, no, okay, like just talk about like okay, how your like schizophrenic like phases and cycle stuff, like how they were originally like before the meds like screwed with it, and like the hallucinations
the
you experienced, because
meds.
you said like some of them were scary, but some of them were kind of fun and like not that bad.
I mean, the medication worked for a week, kinda, and then it just messed everything up, and I don't want to take it anymore, and I stopped taking it, and I've been kind of normal, and then I declined again, but now I'm like doing this for some reason, or
Yeah.
streaming now for some reason.
But like,
Uh,
dude, do you want to like give people specific? I don't know if this is really problematic for me to say or whatever. But like, do you want to give people specific examples of like some of the like hallucinations you used to experience and stuff like that, and how some of them were like just interesting and like
it's some,
fun?
I,
That's
there's some,
as some of them.
it's not really fun. I mean, maybe one of them or two of them, but like it's more so like, um, I would I would I would hear voices and stuff and like telling me vague commands, but never like not commands, but like more so vague cryptic messages that don't make any sense and I don't know what they mean. And then I would like spend hours trying to figure out what they mean. Or I don't know. I used to be way worse though. Um, I used to think everyone was a CIA agent. I used to be paranoid about it. Now I'm like less paranoid about things and more so like disorganized.
Yeah.
But like, I, it's hard. Like I've seen stuff and I've heard stuff and I felt certain types of way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it was
I get.
never again. It never harmed other people. That's the thing. It never hurt anyone else. It only hurt myself. So,
Okay.
I never like had a delusion that someone was like really bad and then I tried to hurt them. I never had delusions like that. I've had delusions where people are trying to hurt me and then I feel afraid of them, but not us but not lately though, like for the past year or two, but 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 like back then I used to, but I mean
Yeah. Do you
I
think
mean I
okay, like
was it's like
oh
really
sorry, continue.
it's I mean I'm like what I'm trying to say is like how it works is like it's an episodic thing. Like there's times where I'm able to talk normally and almost like like a normal person. It's not like how like the media is where I'm like completely out of it 24/7. I mean, I do spend a lot of time not being able to do stuff, um, but like a lot of other times I'm able to talk and communicate to some degree. So, but yeah, like
Wait,
what
wait,
do you,
holy shit! I
what's
think
going
someone
on?
in chat just said, "Is this chick bothering?" Were you talking? Were they talking about me? Sorry, I'm just getting. I'm just getting this forked out. I don't think they were talking about me. I'm a guy. Don't
Oh
fucking.
no! They're talking about the mods in chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Who is
I
this
get a
Ellie
lot
Rogers?
in my IRL dating. I get fucking misgendered constantly by people who know my preferred pronouns and don't give a shit because of where I live, and it sucks. But anyways, no, dude, that I was listening. I promise. Oh, that's like don't even know that. Like I didn't even okay before I like became really good friends with you. I had never done like any research on schizophrenia, and like probably should have since
Yeah, it's
psychology is
used
one
as
of my but
yeah,
like
it's
I
been
tended
used
to
as an
only
insult a lot on the internet by like reactionaries and Nazis and shit all the time. Like it's supposed to be another word for like unhinged or like just delusional. Like you're like it's like this dehumanization thing where they think like you can never like just because um I don't like you that means you must be like this creature who can't think at all and like it's like this complete dehumanization and that's like not like That's just not how it works at all. Like, oh, what? I lost, you won't debate me? Well, you must be delusional. Or what? I think you're wrong. You must be not delusional. Like, you must be schizophrenic. Like, you're out of it. Like, I don't.
Even like the word psychotic is like.
Yeah,
like,
that's
not
psychotic
even
too. Like, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Like,
And I feel like
you
schizophrenia is more like, okay, with DID, which is like probably like the most obscure mental health issue that I experience. It's like, it's not so much that people like think you're like completely as an excuse to like dehumanize you, but it's more that they just, most of them just don't believe they exist and just think we're like attention seeking or something. I don't know. People have a lot of range of opinions on it, but schizophrenia is definitely probably like just any issues with psychosis is like by definition like not being connected to reality is used as like the most like invalid, like the thing to most invalidate people's like opinions. A lot of people who experience psychosis, they're some of the most like base people I've ever met. So, but yeah, I mean, dude, do you think overall, like, okay, if you do you think? Wait, okay, sorry, I was distracted by.
Timed out. Oh, who is this?
I don't know. I was checking. I was checking chat. But dude, wait, can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on in chat. I don't know. All right, but this is not supposed to be a sad stream though. Like, I'm better than before. But
look, the reason I asked you to talk, the reason I asked you to talk about this is because I was wondering do you think that during the time when your like psychosis was the worst it was ever have been in your life, do you think, I have two questions. Do you think that it would have been as bad if you had a support system? And two, do you think it would have been as internally negative if you had a support system, or would it have been manageable and not even like something that bothered you if you had a support system?
Where people like were like could either hurt me all the time or whatever, then it would be a lot better, because I you know, when I went to school I was bullied and I was like physically harmed in school multiple times, so and by my parents and stuff, so so I thought everyone was trying to kill me. So
I mean, it's completely understandable, but
yeah,
it's like
I had my stuff stolen a lot. Like, I got my house robbed, and then when I was young, I had a house attempt to get robbed, and then I got my house robbed, and then I went to school and I got my stuff stolen, and I filed a police report, and they didn't care. So immediately, I filed it immediately when it happened, and then they just didn't care. So this is why I don't like cops again. Like, another reason I don't like cops.
Yeah, fuck cops. But like, I just think, okay, it's really interesting because like, there are some mental health issues that are unequivocally a terrible thing to experience, like OCD. Like, just OCD just fucking sucks to experience. And then there are issues like autism, which for me personally, and for a lot of other people who have autism or are on the autism spectrum, like, we feel like it's not inherently good, apart from society's like displacement and like marginalization of like autistic people and like not accommodating us and stuff in like a multitude of ways. But like, I kind of feel the same about DID. I really want to at some point discuss like the discourse and like policing of like other DID systems, especially or OSDD systems just on the internet. But like, yeah, the discourse. But I don't know, like, I think that, like, I really like a lot of, because, like, I realized I was, like, you know, I had, like, DID, like, I was pretty, like, pissed off, and, like, I didn't want it to be true, but then discovered there's, like, this really, really positive internet community around DID that, like, has a lot of creativity, like, around, like, inner worlds, and, like, just a lot of, like, celebration, and, like, I had a lot of questions at first, like, what does it philosophically mean to define yourself semantically as multiple people in one brain, and you don't have to define it that way. You can define it as fragmented parts of yourself. Like it's literally just how you choose to like see to like self-explain your own experience, and there is no one right way to see it. But like that's like more of a philosophical thing, and like in general the community around it and like the celebration of it reminds me a lot of like autism pride and stuff like that, and it makes me really happy. And there's a lot of other things that like have pros and cons, like ADHD, which I also have.
I don't know why I'm drawing this. Holy shit.
It looks cute. I like it. Like there's a lot of things that like in your opinion, in your personal experience, do you think that like schizophrenia in and of itself is like a negative thing to experience, or do you think like it should be like more in, like,
it depends on the person. It's literally varied by person to person. Like some people, there's people who have it like non-negative, and like they just there's some people who somehow learn to coexist with their brain like making up shit. and like I don't know, and they manage to like function somehow. And then there's people where it's just constant like a bad mushroom trip every day, like with me or something. So, and then there's people who are so severe they're basically in a delirium state almost entirely all the time. But that's not usually the case. That's just the most severe of cases. But because that usually that happens when they don't get treatment, and then they keep being abused, and then eventually it gets to this point where they're just like not there anymore, and it's kind of really sad. But yeah, it's just like full on. Basically, they're in a never-ending psychotic episode, and it never ends. But usually, for most people with schizophrenia, psychotic episodes are like an episodic thing. It happens, like, not at all the time, but it happens sometimes. And during those sometimes, you're no work. But yeah, I don't know. It's also more complicated than that. But I'm trying. I just can't explain. Like,
that was a really good explanation to my like way oversimplified theory. And I mean, I should have
people watching.
Yeah, I don't know if for sure like what my psychosis issue label is, and I have a lot of issues with like mental health labels for probably different. Most people would like not just because like for actual like systemic like lack of like inductive reasoning within psychiatry. Anyways, like, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but, like, I personally experienced psychosis. I've experienced psychosis for, like, the past 2.5 years, and it's always terrible, because for me it's primarily tactile hallucinations, and they're very, very, very painful. Like, I'm not even going to describe them in detail, because it would probably trigger people, but they're physically painful tactile hallucinations that are literally just generated in my brain. And no, it's not fibromyalgia, in case anyone, or, like, any sort of semantic pain or somatic pain disorder. It's definitely psychosis. It's something that like it's just really confusing. It's really shitty and painful, and I don't know if it's schizophrenia or not. No one like I'm definitely not. I have no idea like what I would label it as. No one really knows what the fuck is wrong with me. But I say wrong with me because it's not something that if I could snap my fingers and make it go away, I 100% would. It's completely never, ever, ever fun. Whatever it is something that I don't enjoy. I just feel like I just feel like you're right. Like, whoa, blood on the face. That's sexy.
I'm demonetized.
Well,
I drew the blood.
Oh, it's just don't worry, guys.
I made a hate image. I'm bad. I said no more cis people, and then I drew blood. Oh no, trans ethnostate. Oh no, I'm just kidding. I don't mean that. I promise. I promise. I'm not a trans ethnostatus.
I don't think.
Okay.
Okay, that reminds me of J-Reg. Remember the video of like the Like he
Homo
wants to. I don't remember
nationalism.
what. No, he was like, I want an ethno state that is perfectly statistically diverse and no one of the same ethnicity can live close to
What?
space everyone
I've
out
never
equally.
seen that. What the-
It was. I don't even know what I think of J-Rig, but I find his
J-Rig
content very
is-
entertaining. Rig.
J-Reg
I
is-
think he's really a leftist, and I don't just say that because like all of the extremists think J-Rig is really on their position. I think he is unironically an anti-centrist now, or he doesn't fucking know what he is. But like, I don't. I think he used to be like. I think he used to be a liberal, and like definitely
You wouldn't
was
dare
he
say that.
considered being leftist, and then was just like. I don't know, the amount that he strawmans hard leftism in his videos, and like in his video where I don't know,
Oh.
we probably should Eric right now. That's a whole other tangent. But
I like
I don't know.
J-Reg, though.
His content.
Am I? Okay, I don't know. This is just the first time. I know I say that every stream I do every 6 years, but
At least said just say it's jam. Yeah, it's just jam. It was just a PB and J. Bruh.
Tack said the
Oh,
L word. Uh-oh. What did I say? Oh no. Did I say
Oh.
like
Lesbian?
lithium?
Oh, y'all, in case you're wondering, Tack is canonically both a he and him has a lesbian and a gay man. He's both of those things.
Because I can. That's
He can. He's all of the types of gays. He's just always gay. Always. I'm not making fun of
have you
gay and
checked
lesbians. I don't
out Wait, who's the L word? I don't like Xander Hole. That guy is poop. That guy looks like an alt-writer, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, fuck Xander.
Looks like one. He looks like. I didn't say he was. I said he looks like one because I don't know. I'm gonna get.
Oh
I'm
no,
gonna get
Xander Hole is literally a narcissist
He's-
piece of shit. Like,
L word is
Yeah.
lesbian. Oh.
wait, what's wrong with lesbian? Was that a joke? That's not a slur.
He has a very alt-right face. Yes! There we go.
Oh,
I can't wait
this
to
person
do
is
this
alt right. Why are they in our chat?
No one is alt-right. They're saying that the Zanny man has an alt-right face. That's what they said.
Xander Hole, more like Xanax Hole.
You know, I keep thinking of like benzodiazepines. I never had those before, but I just keep thinking of those.
Oh,
See
I have. I'm not a fan, I will say, but they ruined ketamine. They completely ruined ketamine. One time, like I tried it with ketamine, so my heart rate didn't get to like 150 again, or however long the heart rate got, and it just totally ruined the trip. It was like boring as fuck. So I'm not a fan of benzos.
Benzos just make you
But we're
feel
not
bad.
gonna have a stream where we just talk about drugs for an hour.
No, I mean I could, but like I don't want to be seen as I don't know a
Home
drug
rejection.
enabler. I mean I kind of.
Well, like okay,
I don't know, maybe.
like I feel
I
like
don't-
drugs or like harm reduction, bro. Like people are gonna do drugs. Like it's okay to talk about them. Like
Yeah, but we gotta put content warnings so people don't like relapse. I guess.
yeah, no, people, yeah,
Yeah.
content. But like okay, back to mental health because you said like you want to focus on that for like tonight. Is it?
I think we're done with that. I don't know. Maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. I didn't really think of anything coherent for today.
Wait, can I go into like my opinions on this discourse real quick? I'll spend like a minute on it max.
Yes.
Okay, so I only recently found out I had DID, but I actually knew a fair bit about it, but knew people who like I knew what it was. But it's pretty difficult to realize you have it because of the nature of how dissociation works for a lot of people, especially if you don't have heavy amnesia between switches consistently, which I don't. I only occasionally have heavy amnesia. But anyways, like I definitely am a system. I'm Hunter right now, as you know. But basically, I went on the internet and I found what people were saying about it, and there is a lot of like who gets to be a valid system, and I frank and it's basically the argument of like you have to either have a diagnosis, or just like have like heavy amounts of like repeated childhood trauma. This is probably should be a content warning. I'm not gonna go into like trauma. That's the last time I'm gonna mention trauma. But like this entire conversation, if it's triggering for you, please like mute me and I'll say in chat when we're done talking about it.
You don't have to learn the details. You can.
I know I'm not. It's basically people saying like, oh, only. And my thing on that, like, I very quickly realized I think that's fucking stupid for a lot of reasons. Because there was a lot of systems who either have types of trauma that aren't as, like, considered extreme enough by whatever people, even though that's... Or there are systems who claim either that they don't have childhood trauma and they're a system for other reasons, like possibly spiritual, which just are, or that they're a system and it's unrelated to their trauma, in their opinion. And I think that, like, in the field of psychiatry, there is, like, I'm not saying there's no scientific evidence for dissociative identity disorder. There totally is. But what there is a very, very controversial view of the semantics of whether or not it's appropriate to encourage patients with dissociative identity disorder to give all the alters in their system different names, or for the alters to name themselves, and to sort of view the different alters to view themselves as literally separate people. That is what is controversial. But the thing is, like, I feel like that should be a personal choice. Like, if you have dissociative identity disorder or OSTD type 1B or whatever, right, and you want to, like, view yourself as one person who, like, has fragmented, dissociated away parts of self, that is totally fine. Philosophically makes you feel more comfortable to view yourself as like one person who's fragmented. But for the majority of us, it's extremely validating, like this huge amount of relief. Like for me to realize like I am my own person, like I'm actually a consistent person as myself, like as Hunter, who's like, I'm an alter in a system. It makes me feel really good to like know that like I'm my own person. And like whether or not like you have issues with, a lot of psychiatric professionals have issues with like you shouldn't be telling patients that literally multiple people in one brain. But like it's like no one like it doesn't matter if you think that, like it shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter. You shouldn't have to prove your trauma. Basically my point is like if people experience themselves as a system for whatever reason for any amount of time, like, and they're like like they should just be respected and not really like questioned and not like doxed or like speculated by, like, especially if they're on the internet, like they shouldn't be speculated by other people who are like other systems to like, sorry if I speak about it bad, I'm still pretty new to like the terminology, but I feel like it's just the whole like policing around it is like super fucked up in my personal opinion. And I think all systems are valid because like we're such an it's kind of similar to true scum rhetoric to me of like, why would you just step on other people who have this experience? Like there isn't enough scientific evidence to like prove DID being real, multiple people being real, like in one brain being like a real thing or not. Like it shouldn't matter. Like you shouldn't put your efforts into shitting on other people who have the same experience as you. We should just like respect. That's just my opinion, and I don't think that's gonna change. Even though I am pretty new to like the system internet culture, the Syscourse, like only like a few months of like knowing that I was a system.
Syscourse sounds like cis people.
Well, it's SYS course, but like no, I have a pretty strong opinion about that, and I've definitely seen that even with other leftists. Like shitting on like endogenic DID systems, which like they don't really
They said
exist
hi.
outside of like that I've even seen. But if they do, just fucking respect them. It's the same with like Mogai pronouns. Like, I think it's really cringy when reactionaries are like shitting on people who use Mogai pronouns because like they're memeing. Everyone I know who uses Mogai pronouns are either memeing or like just the coolest people ever, and like they're just edgelords, and they just don't they just I think that's super edgy. Like it's pretty edgy to say fuck gender, and I'm gonna use Mogai pronouns. Like I think that's fucking awesome, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. All these are like contracts. That's why I'm drawing similarities between like the True Scum discourse and the discourse. I do see a lot of similarities.
Your mom. Got him. Uh-oh. I wish you had a computer so we could play Mario Kart.
Well,
Emulator.
someone, okay, wait, someone in chat was like getting what I was saying. I feel bad. I'll reach out to them later. Hopefully, okay. I probably should have made a more explicit content warning.
Bad.
I'm not really
Yes.
hyped. What I was
Big
saying.
Bad is bad, I guess. Minecraft. Oh, Minecraft.
I'm getting you a better computer soon so we could stream Minecraft. Do you want to play Minecraft on the for the stream after you finish this drawing?
Oh, maybe I don't know if my computer can handle that. Roblox. I played Roblox once, and it was very, 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 very strange. I saw this 7-year-old called me gay.
Oh. Oh my god, when you use a beta standard hall, the things people were saying in chat about you were like not only just super cringe, like super rude, and like I got so pissed, and I was like trying to defend you all alone in chat. I was just like, you guys are fucking mean. He's awesome. And they thought you were like 12. Like, yeah, they were like,
During the debate I did for some reason while kind of drunk. I don't know why I did that. I make a lot of decisions. I just kind of just do things, and I don't really think about them sometimes. I mean, he was the one attacking me. Like, he started the whole drama anyway. Like, he's the one who attacked my friends on Twitter for no reason. And then I made a video where he was included, but it wasn't specifically about him. And then he decided to attack my video saying it was wrong, even... I don't know. He doesn't even have an argument for why I'm wrong anyway. All he has is gotchas. Uh-oh. No, drama stream. I don't want dramas.
oh, it was the knife in your drawing.
Oh.
It like unnerved by.
Unnerved. Okay, I'll delete the knife.
I'll ask them if they want to come back if you delete it or something.
I know. I deleted it. Now it's gone. Got him.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you deleted your whole art, bro. Did you save it at least? It was good.
No, it's on a layer hidden forever.
Oh, okay. You should draw me and you doing gay shit, but like not lewd. I'm just kidding. What?
Okay, Snake Man. Talking Snake Man.
You know, I feel like I feel like we're like the straightest gay partners ever. We act so like that's like, we're just like bros, but then we're just like, hey bro, you're sexy. I don't know, it's funny. That's how every gay relationship I've been in
at all.
Bro, just draw like dude, draw like your inner world shit. Like draw Attack the Bit of Prison.
I drew Snom from memory. Does that count?
Electrocuting a prison cell and just like, breaking that shit down. Like pull an Uncle Iroh in your inner world.
Uncle Iroh. Oh, Avatar reference. I'm supposed to be streaming on Twitch and YouTube, but then Restream broke and said it doesn't want to.
Which one?
Damn art gods.
Dude, what are you? Your eye is
just
so big.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Oh, shit, my headphones are dying.
I'm gonna briefly go over some like shit that like I don't know how long we're gonna stream for or anything, but I'm gonna briefly go over like some shit that I want to just discuss, like more serious topics and more fun topics. I want to talk about cartoons a lot because we both really like cartoons. Everyone should watch The Owl House. It's like
I love that show.
you know, it's so good. It's so underrated. It's like the best shit ever. And I just want to talk about cartoons a lot, dude. I'm watching OKKO on your Hulu, and like, it's so good. And, like, there's a crossover episode with Sonic, and yeah, like, okay, I want to talk about speciesism and animal liberation a lot, as well as like other things around like veganism and stuff like that. I think we should talk about like drug positivity and harm reduction and like how they're not like opposites. Anti-psychiatry, obviously, and like celebration of neurodiversity, obviously, which we already talked about. The concept of like performative allyship and how that relates to all these things, like how we sort of discussed earlier, like it's like leftists will only be as accepting as they're pressured by the leftist mob to be, and anyone that they can possibly shit on, they will shit on, which right now includes like severely mentally ill people. Like they will use that as an insult. We should talk about like just trans guys and leftism and like why there's so few trans guys like in like the internet left space. Like yeah, and then also like since we're both artists, like I'm a musician, you're an artist, like the idea of like owning art versus like free art, commodification art.
Hey, hold on. Pause a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
I changed my audio devices randomly, and I have to reconfigure it now so it doesn't fuck up. Okay, hold on. Fixing it. I'm fixing it.
There's still 8 people watching though. Whoa.
How about now? Did I break it? Oh my goodness. I changed my headphones because my headphones died. So, the audio is probably messed up now, isn't it?
Is audio sound okay for everyone in the chat? I should probably put it in headphones.
Damn, Hunter, that's a lot of time.
Wait, that's a lot of what?
Yes, those topics are for another day, because there's like, they have like entire like universes of stuff, okay? Like, they're not just, I'm a, you know, define it in one sentence. I don't know. I was trying to roast, but it didn't work. I'm so great.
Okay. Yeah, no, I literally just outlining stuff that I really want to talk about. It's like, I'm just gonna use your platform. But, and dude, talk about like how theory is like the importance of theory. In some contexts and not others.
I mean, theory is an end-all be-all of everything. Like, oh, you gotta read every book and blah blah. Like, that's silly, but like, I don't. You don't have to be like this college-level person who knows everything. That's totally not what we want. What we want is people to stop spreading misinformation and like not defining anything. and then calling themselves a political label that they clearly don't know what means. A lot, you know. A lot of the dirtbag left does this because they think theory is only like old dry books, like that are 400 pages long, when that's not true. Like there's like shorthand essays and shit, like they're like 2 pages long and stuff. Like I don't know. Like this is not. This is I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert
you're
though.
cutting
Like
out slowly.
me?
I don't know if you're cutting out for like people.
Are you cutting?
Yeah, you are. I don't know if you're cutting out for me just a little bit.
Okay, I'm just gonna repeat what I said then. I don't like it when people just claim they're this ideology, but they don't know exactly what it means. I mean that's fine. I'm not saying that. I don't want to. I'm not saying you have to be an expert or read everything, or because that's totally like weird. I don't know. It's not fair to do that, and it's not because I don't even read everything. But like, I just don't like it when people just go like I'm an anarchist, and then they don't know what it means, and they just basically say liberal stuff and like have all the same beliefs that liberals do, and think that revolution is this thing that happens magically, like a final boss after we owned all the woke scolds or something. I don't know, or conservatives. It's just like this magical thing. Like what? And they don't know what it means. I don't know. It's weird. Like you don't. There's like, and then they always say like, oh. Well, theories of 2 is not consumable. I'm like, well, there's shorthand essays and stuff that's like barely like 1 page, 2 pages long, like, or 4 pages long. Like, it's not all of it is 19th century stuff.
I'm not saying you have to like read whatever, but you should. There's lots of ways to like educate yourself other than like reading physical books or whatever.
Yeah, there's
like,
audiobooks
you don't have to like read zines and like
you don't even have to be an
Wikipedia articles and like anarchist blogs. Like,
you don't even have to be an expert.
Like there's a bunch of really
you can just like
submedia is really cool. Like submedia is video. If you really really hate reading, just like even watching some pure theory video streaming site like that's some good shit. But like reading is definitely like some of the like I've definitely had my most like aha moments about like being
I mean
radical.
like you don't have
like,
to like you don't
mostly articles like mostly like anarchists like
hello, can you hear me?
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Cutting out a lot, and I don't know when to talk.
Cutting out for you.
Oh my goodness, the Wi-Fi.
Wait, let me rejoin the.
Yeah.
How about now? Is it good?
I don't know. Say stuff. You said I don't. You said.
Right. Banana lifestyle anarchist. Peep and poop and pee.
Like, I'm not trying to make. I'm just trying to say like, if you don't know what your ideology is, and then you're gonna claim that you're a better anarchist than other people, and then attack them, even though you don't even know what you haven't even read a Wikipedia page of the first sentence of what it means, then you probably should stop. Like, I see that a lot. Like, I don't know. It's like they say that we're purity testers, but they're the one purity testing the most. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, if you have, like someone just said in chat, like, if you have a form that's supposed to be, like, if you're a bread tuber, you should read theory. If you're going to be a bread tuber. Like,
if you're gonna
sorry, maybe I'm canceled, but, like, you don't have to, you can label.
Uh-oh, you're cutting out.
No, what you should, every anarchist should probably be able to define the word insurrection, but, like, if you're a bread tuber, you should probably read some theory. Whether anarchist thought pieces, order. Like that's just
You don't have
Oh.
to be this like
oh.
cooked up
So,
like a
Say it's been
historian
writing really
person who knows everything. Like, you
I'm
don't
a-
have like you just have to like to know nothing at all, not a single thing, and then to like say I'm the best anarchist around. Look how much I do for the left is like really like it makes me laugh. Like no, you're not. Like you don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't either, but
Oh,
oh, it's hard to draw on this
Bro.
computer. It's lagging and it's
Oh,
like
sorry.
deleting my lines.
damn, you're still cutting out for me. People in chat said that I'm cutting out for them. So that's weird. Hey, let me just reload Discord real quick.
Oh, it says I'm not lagging, but it says you're lagging. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yo, how's my connection now?
Oh, read-along streams. Oh, I see Jamie's comment now. That's a good idea, yeah. They don't even do that, though. They just, like... They just, like, say that they're the best anarchist ever, and then they attack people on Twitter. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Oh, real long streams. Yeah, those are super cool.
Yeah.
Connection now. Banana lifestyle anarchist peep and poop and pee. How's it? Are we good?
I'm trying to draw this for it, but it keeps my computer is like deleting my lines. It's so hard to draw right now. I'm gonna have to save it and then like reopen the program because my tablet driver just stopped working.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, you can?
Yes. What's
Okay, sorry.
bro? Are you good? Your connection's getting really weird.
Okay, well, I was fine before. Damn. I'm just gonna just continue talking and
Maybe it's my computer. It's probably my computer like chugging, you know? Because I'm like recording you and streaming and drawing at the same time. So my computer is like actual trash, and I have a laptop now, but that I got for free. But but I haven't. It only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's good for editing videos, but I don't know if it's good for streaming. And
Hello. Is my connection alright now?
you sound okay, ish.
Okay, cool. Litzy. I really like your furret, bro. I like the furret eyes. It's really cute. What
Yeah.
kind of? You should make a trans.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a trans flag. It's hard to draw it because it's lagging every time I draw a pencil line, and it's like really annoying. Cause my computer is trash. I should just like pre-record drawing and then like, oh my goodness, these lines. Oh my god, look at these lines.
Furret is. Yeah. Canoning characters as like trans or just like neurodivergent or something. Because the only thing I go on Tumblr for is to like see other people also having the same headcanons about cartoon characters as I do. Like this character trans, because like it makes me feel so like validated and like represented and stuff. And then like the chuds get so mad. Or we have like shitty representation.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Am I
hear
still-
you.
Is my okay? I'll okay.
My computer is actual
Oh.
trash.
Okay. Do you wanna like wrap up the stream then, or do you wanna like?
Oh my
going?
god,
Up to you.
the source is missing. I'm just like closing tabs as much as I can.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh my goodness. I don't have anything running and it's still like LOL, no you know?
Can Liquid Goth hop in the stream? She just asked if she could. Bro, I think we were gonna.
I mean, we're about to end.
I don't know if we're
guess.
to end, and also she said she's sleeping. Yeah, she's gonna go to sleep.
She can go join next time. Next time on the
Yeah.
Powerpuff
I told her.
Boys.
Dude, she has like the best taste in memes of anyone I've ever met. Like, she blesses me up with like high quality memes, and I will be eternally grateful. She's
What
a
kind
homie.
of high quality memes?
All kinds, just such good memes. Like
I'll finish the spirit, I promise. Okay, I know I dropped my headset. I know I like usually draw stuff, but I never finish it. Why is my mic so far? Alright. I'm not very good at this streaming stuff. What's going off my headset? I can't hear anything. Ugh. Oh man. I think I broke my headphones. Oh my goodness, what a disaster. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's what you... Yeah.